So my wife has just kicked me out. But don't worry, it's not what you think. She's got some mates coming around to partay, and apparently I will cramp her style. So yeah, I'm out. So you might not think it's overly relevant, me starting off the video by talking about being kicked out of the house by my wife. But it is. About a month ago, I released a video and it was called something along the lines of, "This is landscape photography for most people." And my point of that video was that for most people, landscape photography is a hobby and they can only really shoot it as and when their lifestyle allows them to. The point of this video and the whole thing about my wife kicking me out of the house is that I find myself in this situation again, where I have no plan. I wasn't planning on shooting. I'm very busy with the run up to Christmas. I have a big trip next week that I'm preparing for. So I had no plans to shoot. It wasn't on my itinerary until my wife says, "Do you mind getting out?" So I found myself with basically a free evening. Problem is, it's going to be dark in about an hour's time. So I'm going to go in my van, camp overnight and shoot. The thing is, I don't know where I'm going. I do know the weather is awful and looks like rain all day tomorrow. I have no plan, but for me, it's just kind of like grassroots of landscape photography. That's what I love the most, the unknown. Where am I going? What am I going to shoot? I don't know what the conditions are going to do. No idea. That's the fun. So hopefully in this video, you can come with me on this journey to nowhere, where I may end up shooting nothing. Alright, so the first order of business is to get to the supermarket so we can have something to eat tonight. Alright, home sweet home. Alright, so we have arrived at my park up for the evening. My park up is always very much based or determined on where I want to shoot tomorrow morning. The problem is it's chucking it down, it's driving wind. I thought I was going to get blown off the road several times as I was driving down here. And I don't think it's going to change. So I think tomorrow morning will be pretty bad. Oh, yes. So I've got myself a steak on the go. I've got myself a nice cold beer. I'm going to have some food, relax for the evening. But what I'm actually quite excited about, well, not excited might be the wrong word, but certainly interested in, is this. This is Nikon Z7 Mark II, but I've got on here a 24-70 f4 lens. Now, I've been using the f2.8 version for a little bit, and that's a beautiful lens, so good, so crystal clear and sharp, and it just really is a pleasure to use. But it's about, I don't know, twice the size as this one, twice the cost of this one, twice the weight of this one, but I very rarely shoot that lens at f2.8. So I want to try the f4 lens, which I think will be a better option for someone like me, landscape photographer, often shoots at those smaller apertures. Size and weight is a consideration, and of course the price, it's considerably cheaper. But what I want to know, is the quality going to be as good when we shoot at around about f5.6, f8, f11? That's what I want to know. So if the weather gods will allow me, with a bit of luck, we might find out tomorrow. Oh no, there's light! That was absolutely delicious, and now I'm ready for bed. The wind and the rain is actually going to lull me to sleep. I'm quite looking forward to this. You can see the van is contracting and expanding, or at least the curtains are. You can see that there. So it's as the wind blows. It's fantastic, man. It's pretty bad outside, actually. It obviously doesn't come across on camera. So anyway, I'm going to go to bed. Not much to report. All the action, or lack thereof, will be tomorrow. Well, good morning, everybody. What a night, man. It was wild. It hasn't rained, it's not raining, but the wind, the van was rocking. I honestly, no exaggeration, thought the van was going to blow over at some point. It's going to make for an interesting morning's photography, let's put it that way. Jesus. Yeah, that's the wind closing my tailgate. Waterproof trousers. So one thing I want to do today is actually try and capture the conditions. You know, it's dark, it's foreboding, it's stormy. How do you capture that? Well, I'm going to try and capture the movement of the wind. We have this beautiful silver birch tree, and the clouds behind the birch tree, they are dark. They are thick, black, foreboding clouds. And this silver birch tree just seems to pop against those black clouds, but it's swaying in the wind, man. It's swaying like crazy. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. I'm going to create an abstract image that hopefully gets across exactly what it's like to be here. That's my goal with this image. So I'm using the 100-400mm lens. I'm at about 300mm because I'm going right in close to the tree, filling the frame with the structure of the tree. My 6-stop ND filter gives me an exposure of 6 seconds at f11. I have no idea. Jesus, no idea if it's going to work, but I can, in my mind's eye, I can see it. So let's give it a go. It is absolutely wild, man, wild right now. So, leaving the tripod behind, although it is on my back, but I'm not going to shoot with the tripod. I'm going to go handheld image stabilization and see if I can capture all of this that you can see behind me. Going to try that 𝘭₀ f4, and really don't know if there's a composition here, but we're going to give it a go as this rain drives through the valley. I probably shouldn't have taken my lens cap off so soon. Oh, it's wet. Oh man. I'm being very, very conscious of where I position myself relative to this tree, because there is a waterfall on the opposite hills, the hills in the background. And that waterfall I want falling right between the tree where it forks off either side. Oh. All right, trying f5.6 because I'm getting water on my lens. So a wider aperture, you can actually essentially blur out those water spots on the lens. They're less apparent because of the shallow depth of field. And actually the whole softness might look quite nice, good aesthetic for the image. So the weather is absolutely wild, but I quite like, I don't know if you can hear me, I quite like what the light's doing, the drama, the clouds, the rain. So I think I'm going to go to another location, which is going to be probably more difficult than this, but there could be some potential for dramatic images, and it's a location I've never shot before. So let's go. Probably just see you back in the van if I'm honest. It's too difficult to film. Oh man, that was wild. It's funny because I said I was going to focus on detail shots, and well, I only really took 2 images and none were particularly well detailed. So yeah, this is, it's just hard work, struggling to film. But I'm going to go and try a different location that may or may not work out. I might just get there and instantly decide it's not going to work. Probably the weather could go against it or the weather could go for it. But yeah, we'll go and we'll just cut straight to it. But I'm not going to do any driving sequences. Oh, right, so we are really going to be fighting the elements today. Now, this place that I want to shoot, it's a viewpoint. It's a viewpoint of the mountains where I just was. So basically, that valley where I was just shooting before is lined with mountains either side. Just outside of 𝘧𝘧𝘧𝘧, there are some beautiful mountains, and in weather like this, with squalls coming through, mood and atmosphere, with a long lens, 100-400, you can really get some fantastic images of those mountains, but you need to be at a clean viewpoint, a nice viewpoint, and I believe that there is such a viewpoint about a 15-minute walk from here. So that's the plan. I'm not taking my bag, not taking my tripod, just a 100-400 image stabilization handheld, because we will be battling the elements. Oh, so I'm having to lie down to stabilize myself out of the wind, because I'm going to be shooting this at around about 300-400 something like that. And it's very difficult to show on the camera. But right in the far distance, there are a series of walls, stone walls, which the Lake District is famous for. And they just zigzag beautifully through the landscape up to a ridgeline full of trees. It's a beautiful composition, but it just needs the light. I'm going to photograph it as is because it's quite nice, but I tell you, if we just get just 30 seconds, 5 seconds of light, whoa, we'll grab a shot anyway. Flipping heck. We've got to be dealing with 50 to 60 mile an hour winds. This is just... There are tiny patches of light coming through the landscape. I don't know if you can hear me, I really don't know. But I'm seeing more and more things. Oh, there's light! There's light! Come on now! The wind, man! Right, I'm calling it. We're going to go back to the van and debrief. Alright. Oh, I don't know how that came across on camera, but it was wild up there. What you didn't actually see was I took a ton of photographs, because although I never got the light on the compositions I wanted, I was still shooting the light as it was happening all around me. And I think I have some quite nice images, some classic rugged lakeland images. There's one in particular that I want you to look out for, of a tiny tree perched on the edge of a crag with the valley behind it washed in sunlight. That was shot at 400mm. I didn't film it, it all happened too quickly. I'm rushing around, the wind was 60 mile an hour in my face. But that's the kind of images that I love, where you walk around long lens, you don't know what's going to happen. You know, the elements are against you, you get these moments, these 5 seconds of light, and yeah, there we go. Anyway, I will put the images that I've captured on that outing just there up at the end of this video. But before I do that, let me just say thank you for watching. Remind everyone my calendar is still available. If you order one now, you should get it in time for Christmas. I'll be making sure that I ramp up the shipping. So yeah, there you go, that's it. Enjoy the images. Please leave me your comments and feedback in the comments section below. Ooh, can't speak, I've got this I've got wind face. Right, all right guys, enjoy the images. Cheers.